And we have an update on the Villages Health. What's going on? United Healthcare is not too happy. They've been a partner of the Villages in this healthcare since 2013. They got some pretty harsh words for the Villages coming in court. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, man, I wonder what's going on with that. What's going on with the Villages Health BK news when they filed bankruptcy in their healthcare after really thieving $361 million. United Healthcare says they knew they were being devious and billing Medicaid. So this is not a lie. This is being stated here in this article in the previous one that I mentioned back in June 5th. But it says here United Healthcare has some harsh words for the Villages in a court filing related to the bankruptcy. United Healthcare, which had enjoyed a mutually beneficial relationship for the Villages Health, is now objecting to its sale to Humana. United Healthcare underwrites Medicare Advantage plans for the Villages Health patients. Through an agreement, sells those plans with the exclusive right to use the Villages branding and logo. United Healthcare also owns a perpetual exclusive license to use certain of Villages Holdings' intellectual property. Wow. The sad part is they've been working since 2013 together when they signed this agreement as a special arrangement. It says United Healthcare notes that it prepaid for these exclusive marketing rights up front. And now you got the Villages looking to sell it to Humana, a competitor of United Healthcare, when United Healthcare prepaid. So United Healthcare admits it was caught off guard when the Villages Health on July 3rd announced it had filed for bankruptcy protection in Chapter 11. In courtroom file this week, United Healthcare alleges that the Villages Health had a record of corporate misbehavior and points out that the Villages Health admitted to the submission of incorrect information to its health insurance companies. The U.S. government has stated that it owed $361 million due to erroneous Medicare billing by the Villages Health. The overbilling of Medicare and the money now owed to the government is at the heart of the bankruptcy filing. And we know how that goes. It's not going to go very well for them. That's probably why they sold the bank off. They needed the cash to pay this off. But at the same time, this is criminality behavior. Whether they meant to do it on purpose or not, that's going to be probably, it'll play out here over time. But it looks like they admitted it. They admitted to the submission of incorrect information to the health insurance. It's kind of interesting to see where this is going on this, but I have some other stuff here on this next page if I can get to pop up properly. United Healthcare explains in its filing that the Villages Health is owned and controlled by the same individuals that own and control the Villages, an intertwined business that literally surrounds the Villages Health. United Healthcare claims it has been left out of the bankruptcy and potential sale discussion, even though United Healthcare believes it may be the largest non-government creditor of the debtor. Wow. United Healthcare also suggests that it was remarkable that the company was left out of the discussion and suggests that something unusual must have caused this total absence of communication. At the heart of the filing, United Healthcare questions the quickie sale of the Villages Health to Humana Centerwell. United Healthcare argues that the Villages Health decided to file for Chapter 11 and sells its business as quickly as possible. Kind of interesting, ain't it? United Healthcare offers a theory as to the false sense of urgency for the sale of the Villages. The debtor is a closely held family-owned company whose officers, directors, and owners face hundreds of millions of dollars of liability for submitting false information to its health insurance companies, United Healthcare said. So here's United Healthcare throwing the Villages under the bus. And they probably deserve it because they owe United Healthcare a lot of money. And they left them out of the decision when they decided to file Chapter 11 and then go behind their back to try to sell it to Humana. So this ought to be interesting. Keep an eye on it, as I will. So a lot of people down below, and I'm sure I'll get some the Village Misfits pop in here every once in a while, saying I'm just out here to bash Villages. And that's not the case. I'm out here to say that you have a responsibility to the people who rely on you to wake up in the morning and still have a job. And if you don't like it, get out of the business. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. Again, I don't want to bash Villages. The older Villages, the older generations did an amazing job. They had a great eyesight for the business. They cared. You can tell the difference As you come down in there in between the sixes, how beautiful it is. You could tell they really found their groove in between the sixes. And let's hope that this younger generation doesn't squander it, doesn't go spend their money on a $21 million mansion on Gulf of Mexico for no reason, a house they probably never visit. And then let's hope they can account for where the $361 million went to. But the government's going to find out. They're going to go through those records. They're going to go through their books. They're going to want to know. So hopefully they're prepared for that. And everything's going to work out, hopefully, for the betterment of the community, for the seniors that relied on Villages Health and United Healthcare for their Medicaid insurance, and go from there. So everybody have a good day. I know it's not a great story. It's not one that a lot of people are comfortable talking about, but it is highly important for the villages to be responsible. They have a lot of people relying on them, and you have to keep that in mind in business. And if you're too selfish to think about that or understand that that is your role as a company leader, then you got to get out of the business, move over and let somebody else take care of it. Everybody have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.